as U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo became America's first top diplomat to visit an Israeli settlement in the West Bank, infuriating Palestinians.
The visit of the U.S. Secretary of State to this colonial and illegal settlement built on Palestinian lands constitutes a continuation of the aggression and President Trump's policy of trying to pass the deal of the century.
Among those protesting the visit were members of a Palestinian-American family that says it possesses proof that it owns land in the settlement that the secretary toured.
That land is still in our ownership. Unfortunately, it has been trespassed by Israeli settlers. They have erected some caravans on that piece of land. And also the settler from Sagot have started to established a vineyard on our land and on the land adjacent to it.
Trish, who divides his time between Raleigh, North Carolina, and Alberia in the West Bank, says the top diplomat should protect the interests of his citizens.
That's why we are deploring the visit of Mr. Pompeo to this settlement and to this vineyard, knowing, and I'm sure the United States State Department knows, that this land belongs to U.S. citizens.
In what could be his last trip to the region in an official capacity, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is on a visit to the Middle East that includes Israel and the Palestinian territories. But while in the territories, he won't be meeting with Palestinian officials. Instead, Pompeo visited a winery near the Israeli settlement of Zagot, located in the West Bank, where Palestinians want to establish their future state. A visit that had not been made by any of his predecessors. The presence of the Secretary of State infuriated Palestinians, who said this enforces the notion that the Trump administration is biased towards Israel.
Jamal Salman, a Palestinian-American from Cleveland, Ohio, says he owns about 10 acres around the Zagot settlement, which has been confiscated by the Israeli military. He is angry at Pompeo for making the trip.
It's a challenge to the Palestinian national feeling and a challenge to American citizens of Palestinian origin.
But Salman is hopeful that with a new U.S. administration, things may change.
We wish President Biden and the new administration to take a fair stance on Palestinian rights.
The Palestinian Authority has boycotted the Trump administration since the White House announced that it recognizes Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and moving its embassy to Jerusalem. But Palestinian officials now say they are looking forward to working with President Joe Biden's administration. From the city of Alberia in the West Bank, Mohammed Al-Qasim reporting for the Media Line.